So I design kitchens for a living, and there are some design mistakes that I see over and over again that can make kitchens feel cramped, dated, mismatched, and just honestly hard to use. But the good news is that most of these mistakes are really easy to fix once you know what to look for. Mistake number one. This is one that I'm seeing so much lately. It's people that are using black plumbing fixtures. Now this has been a trend, I would say, over the last 5 to 10 years. People think they look modern, they look chic. However, what I find is that they show water spots like crazy. And people usually regret putting these in a little while after once they realize how dirty these start to look. And I find that they can feel a little bit harsh in a space like a kitchen where you want it to be bright, cozy, and a space that functions really well. I've had design clients that really want black plumbing fixtures, and I've tried to steer them away to something that's a little bit more timeless and practical. Some of my favorite plumbing fixture finishes are polished chrome, like I have in my kitchen. Timeless, really easy to clean. You can even rub it with some wax to make that water just repel right off. I'm also liking polished nickel or brushed nickel. Also find these timeless, a little bit warmer than polished chrome. If you're doing more of a traditional looking kitchen design, you could even consider something like an antique brass. And then finally, you can't go wrong with a stainless steel faucet. This is completely timeless and so practical because it's really easy to clean. Now, the next mistake is something that I also see all the time, and it is people using the same metallic color over and over in their kitchen. So for example, they have a black metallic faucet, black handles, black light fixtures, everything is the same. And this tends to make your kitchen feel clinical, boring, and it makes the design feel a little flat. And the truth is you can absolutely mix metals. This is something that I've been doing for several years now, and I love the look. So you can mix, yes, black metallic, maybe your cabinet pulls are black metallic with a different metal in the plumbing fixtures and the lighting. So you can mix 2 or 3 different metals together. Some of my favorite combinations are black with brass, antique brass with polished chrome like I have here in my kitchen. I also like polished nickel, brass, and black. Those 3 can look really beautiful together. And the biggest trick when you're mixing metals is you don't want 2 metals that are almost the same. You want your metals to be wildly contrasting so that they can work in harmony together. So for example, I wouldn't put black with an antique bronze because they're just really close. And when you mix your metallics in your kitchen, it's going to make your kitchen feel warm, it's going to give it some depth and also a lot of interest. The next mistake I see is people using cheap plumbing fixtures in their kitchen. This is a mistake that I've made in the past and I will never do it again. Running out of budget and then just cheaping out on a faucet. The faucet is something you're going to use multiple times a day. This one was my second faucet that I've had in this kitchen. The first one was super cheap. This one was more of a splurge, but I love this thing. It has this powerful sprayer. It's nice and oversized, and it's just a good quality piece. So if you're going to splurge on anything in your kitchen, make faucets, plumbing fixtures one of them. You want high quality pieces because they're going to be used, touched every single day, multiple times a day. Okay, and this next one is a big one and a huge pet peeve of mine, and it's not having your backsplash go all the way from your countertop to underneath your upper cabinets. I've seen a lot of backsplashes that are maybe 4 to 6 inches high above the countertop. This makes your walls feel a lot shorter. It simply just visually cuts your space up. But when you have backsplash that goes all the way from your countertop to underneath your cabinets and then behind the stove, behind your range hood, this is going to visually expand your kitchen, make the ceilings look taller, and make everything look like it belongs together. And if you're looking for a budget-friendly version of this, you could do a nice, classic, inexpensive tile like a white ceramic subway. I always love that backsplash. Now, this next mistake is kind of similar to the backsplash, and that is upper cabinets that don't go all the way to the ceiling. Now, in the 90s and the early 2000s, we saw a lot of kitchens like this where we had this space between the upper cabinets and the ceiling, essentially just a dust collector. Maybe you want to decorate up there, but then it ends up making your kitchen look really cluttered and crowded. So what I recommend is taking your cabinetry all the way to the ceiling. Now, this is a lot easier to fix if you are doing a kitchen reno, and in the design stage, if you already have your kitchen and you have the cabinets that don't go all the way to the top, there's a lot of DIY ideas. I will share some examples down in that description box below and some photos right here of people just adding in some crown molding to close that space up. You're gonna have less dust, your kitchen is going to look taller and more custom. Now, this next mistake affects everything, and that's not having enough lighting in your kitchen. In the kitchen, you want to have your ambient light, so that's the light that's coming from the ceiling. You want to have task lighting, so maybe some pendants over the island where you're doing your baking, maybe a pendant over the sink where you're doing your dishes, and then you want to consider accent lighting. So that's things like countertop lamps, candles, and all those little extra touches that make the kitchen feel a little bit more cozy. Think about having layers of lighting in your kitchen just like you would have in other rooms of your home, and this is going to make a huge difference in how your kitchen both looks and functions. You can add some really easy budget-friendly fixes like peel and stick under cabinet lighting. You can also DIY little countertop candles and lamps. There's so many budget-friendly ways to do this if you already have a kitchen that you're not renovating and you just want to tweak it a little bit. Now, this next mistake was really popular back in the 90s and early 2000s. Again, I've been to so many clients' homes where they have this and they want to get rid of it. And that is having an island that has different heights on it. So we used to have lots of angular kitchen islands. Lots of times we'd have the countertop height and then the bar height shelf around it with stools. There's been 3 kitchens that I've seen in the last month that have had this, and the clients want to get rid of it because it's just not practical. They don't have enough space to do their baking and things they want to do on the island, and nobody's really sitting at that little counter height sliver of countertop anyhow. So if you have this, you probably could remove that countertop height. If you're considering renovating your entire kitchen, I would definitely recommend just one height of island. This is a lot more practical. It looks cleaner and it is multifunctional this way. All right, now we're gonna get into the ones that really affect how your kitchen actually feels to live in and to use. This is such a common mistake in the design phase of kitchens, and that's not having enough counter space on either side of your stove. I've seen this so much in older kitchens. I've made this mistake in the past with kitchens that I've done. You really need to think about how you're actually using your kitchen and how much space you need on your countertops. With a stove, you have to imagine you're putting things on either side of your stove, your food prep as you're cooking it on your stove. So you need at least a foot on either side. 2 feet is great. So when you're designing a kitchen, when you're renovating a kitchen, make sure that you have enough counter space on either side of your stove for this. I also think about this when placing my fridge in the kitchen. Is there a countertop nearby? It doesn't have to be right beside, but maybe across the aisle where you can put your food down as you're transferring it from your car to your fridge. Okay, this next mistake is huge, and it's also more to think about in the planning stages of a renovation or a kitchen design from scratch, and that's not having enough drawers in your kitchen. I think people are getting better and better at this as we are designing more modern kitchens, but doors and shelves, they're budget friendly, yes, but they're just not as easy to use. If you can put lots of drawers in your base cabinets, those are a lot more easy to use, really easy to organize. You can put things like IKEA organizers inside. I love mine for pots and pans, Tupperware, cutlery, everything. They're just the better choice when designing a kitchen. There's no digging for everything. You can pull the drawer out and see everything all at once. So when designing a kitchen, if you're renovating, think about as many drawers as possible in those base cabinets. This mistake is actually the biggest one that I see, and I'm really surprised how often I see this when I go into kitchens that need to be renovated, and it's not having enough walking space in between your cabinets. I've noticed this in a lot of kitchens, even kitchens that have been designed 5 to 10 years ago. There's maybe 36 inches between an island and a perimeter cabinet, or between the fridge and the island. And my favorite width is 42 inches. 40 inches sometimes between the perimeter and the island is okay, but if we can get 42 inches, that is a lot easier. And why I like that is because you're able to open up your oven, your dishwasher, and not bump into things. It also makes it a lot easier if you have more than one chef in the kitchen. If your family loves to bake or cook together, this extra width for walkways is so much better. So if you're planning to redesign your kitchen or you want to tweak some things in your kitchen, like maybe hardware colors, these are are some things that you can try first. Let me know in the comments below if you're gonna try any of these, or let me know what is one thing in your kitchen that bugs you the most. What would you change if you could? I would love to know, and maybe I'll make another video about some kitchen design ideas. If you liked this video, I'm gonna leave this one for you to watch next. I am sharing some interior design ideas that you can apply today on a budget to make your home look more expensive. Click right here to watch that one next.